Hey, it's now 10 past 4 in the morning. It's about probably 2 hours since I put this on. So my hair's had a chance to dry with the muck in it and stuff. It's like I've told you, when I show you what's going on with the putting on the hairpiece and everything, it's all wet, right? So you're not seeing naturally what it would be like for me to go out in public with my hair. And so what happens is your hair dries and it changes shape. This is my hair kind of just after I've sort of tousled it a bit, fluffed it. So I'm talking about getting a haircut because I've got very curly, boofy hair. But with a bit of extra length, it'll rest nicer. It goes through a boofy phase and then it sort of weighs itself down, especially once it's got a bit of product in it and stuff, and it's given a chance to dry. And so, given that, I kind of think maybe I'll just keep it longer. I was just thinking I've got to go have a haircut. The lace itself, like I said, is a little bit too high the way I positioned it because it was from an old stencil that came before the shave back went back further, because there were a couple of peaks there that I didn't take into account when I started shaving it back further, and then it had more of a flawless join between the hairpiece and the hair. You can see clearly that there's a lot of visibility of the scalp, but because this lace has really well bleached knots, there's nothing to complain about with them. I'd say it looks really very real, especially the front hairline. There is no sunshine beaming down on my head here, otherwise I suspect in the sunlight and the heat there will be extreme shine coming through there, and I'll have to do this the whole time, just keep it covered. And I might consider going back to poly when that happens. But in this lighting, the hairline looks very realistic, and the knots are really bleached. So I'm almost tempted to say that on day one, lace looks better than poly. That bleaching of the roots along the front with poly to reduce the wall of hair appearance does its job in the most effective way it can. Poly is definitely lower maintenance by about 100 times than what this will be. But if you can maintain the front hairline with lace and you have a glue, this was the initial problem. Walker Tape Ultra Hold is extremely shiny and will make this untenable in bright sunshine on a hot day. And it is summertime for me here, being January. So we'll see how it goes. But I just want you to see what the hair looks like when it's dry. That's about all I have to say about that. Yeah, so I think because the very low density of this hairpiece compared to the very thick density of my natural hair around the back and the horseshoe is incompatible. But when it's got a bit of weight down to it, I think I prefer longer hair. Not rock and roll style length, just a bit more, longer than boofy. Look, I've got curly hair, so it would naturally go very curly if it gets longer. I get ringlets and stuff. But with a bit of product, I can just reduce that down to a kind of a heavy wave, I guess. And it gives it more of a down-to-earth kind of, I don't know, friendlier kind of appearance as well. So this is an adapter for the beardscape trimmer. 18 mils, that's 1.8 centimeters. An inch is 2.4, is it? 2.5, 2.4 centimeters is an inch, I think. Is that right? I would assume my hair's longer than an inch. Definitely. Well, maybe it is about an inch there. Getting up to about an inch and a quarter over the rest of the head. When I get to an inch and a half or 2 inches, then it should be weighted enough to give me the weight I need so it hangs better. Yeah, but going back to short hair again, it's problematic with hair pieces because of the join line. So maybe I won't have a haircut after all. Maybe I'll just wait a bit. And I've got to go to this agent showcase pretty soon, within about 20 days. So I want to look my best. And I think my best is about this length. A bit longer maybe. Going shorter is, it really brings out the fat in the face. Like you can see, because I've shaved, when I've got the double chin and everything happening, it really stands out even more when my hair's short. The solution to that is, well, longer hair for a start, which is more fluffy, doesn't make the face stand out. The hair's kind of umbrella-ing itself over the top of everything. Umbrella-ing, not umbrella-ring, yes. Trying to think of things to say. Can't think of anything to say. Bit of mind. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get back on the orbital and lose this double chin because faking it with clothing and hair and stuff does not hide the guts and everything that I've got going on. So I'm gonna have to lose this weight. Unfortunately, the game of Risk, which I went on Facebook and complained to the developers, I said, what the hell is going on? We're cutting out, we're getting disconnected all the time. I had a heavy conversation with one of the people, one of the staff there yesterday, and now today a message came up on the Game of Risk saying we're dealing with our third-party servers, and basically we've shut down while they fix it. So now I can't play at all. But it's good to know that they're doing something about it. And I like to think it's because of me. Although my dad thought McDonald's changed their straws, which used to be very thin, and they made it thicker for drinks and stuff, after he complained about it. But I don't know if he's the cause or just somebody who noticed something that was wrong. In this case, meh. Given the timing, it seems like it was me. I like to think that the risk has been fixed because of me. Let's see, we'll see. I hope it's better now. Anyway, this is the length of hair that I think is best. So everything I show you while my hair is wet is only relevant from my mind knowing how it will settle after it's dried. And at the moment, because there's nothing accumulating on the hairline at all, you do not look at that because you guys always want to rub one out about the hairline. I wouldn't be shy to show this in public. And even though the hair's back, not a full centimetre probably from the nub, maybe 3/4 of a centimetre. I'd say that's okay. I'd be okay to go on television like this. But on television, they wouldn't let wiry hair happen unless it was in Britain, where the frizz is commonplace. With all the sepia and grey they have on all this TV show for some reason. Subdued lighting compared to American lighting. American lighting is right, which makes everything look much better. Americans are the top of the pyramid in terms of television and movies. A lot of it's to do with lighting, a lot of it's to do with the teeth, which is why I had my teeth whitened. I'm going to America soon. Get an American accent. I'll try. I mean, the thing is, I'd have to chew a lot more gum to get the musculature that's required to maintain this accent at all times. But I might have to say no to the donuts, even though I'm going to hopefully go to some diners and so on when I get over there. I want to talk to some waitresses and find out if it's worth living in Hollywood. Playing with dice. I mean, there's got to be an atmosphere there, right? There's got to be some kind of hope that's worthwhile. Because even if you only get a small job in the United States, the likelihood of it being aired internationally, or even if it's not, it's going to have 325 million potential eyeballs on it, multiplied by 2, 650 million eyeballs watching a TV commercial or small role in a TV show. I'm not saying 100% of people, including infants, so elderly people, are going to see it. It's more than a number of people in Australia who could see it, for example. No, it's only 25 million people here. At any rate, I just thought it was a good idea to see how the lace looks when the hair is dry, and these are regular conditions. And I just looked at the analytics for my channel, and it seems like there are quite a lot of Brits watching as well. Now I have a question for the Brits out there. You answer me this one. What is the difference between Great Britain and United Kingdom? Are they 3 different things? Are they 3 different things or not? All the same thing. Then again, I don't really know what the difference between Parliament and government are. Is Parliament all of the elected seat holders, and government are the majority of those seat holders, which have now become the leading party who's in charge? And the rest just voice their opinions, but I'm not in charge, but they can still say what they want or boycott. Everyone gets the vote, but given that a majority are in the same party, will tend to once again agree with one another unless somebody crosses the floor and disagrees with their own party. Is that what happens? I'm just trying to pick up on this. There are parts of the news, most of the news I don't understand. I don't understand those lines with the triangles and stuff on a weather map. I don't understand the stock exchange. I don't know what NASDAQ means. I don't really watch the news, to be honest. I'm interested in things when they were explained, diagrams and animation. Things to do with double slit experiments and so on, crazy behavior of subatomic particles. But I don't really know much about it. I couldn't give a lecture on it. Do you guys think that maybe in school we should have been made to teach the class what we've just learned, to really show that we can voice what we've just learned instead of just passing a test? I think so. Maybe the people who are shy and don't want to give a speech to the class, maybe it's just to the teacher or teachers, teaching panel. Maybe the exam needs to be that they get up in front of a whiteboard and teach the judges and the judges have to evaluate how good they were at teaching that lesson. Because if you cannot explain something, well, there are two things. One is your communication skills might not be very good, but you should learn that during school as well. Why not? And secondly, do you know what you just learned? Why not? And it would tell you'd get an instruction guide on what to include in your class when you're teaching it. You must include this and this and this and this and this, and then if you explain all that properly, then you kind of know. But you're not allowed to use notes, maybe. So you just have to show that you've retained it. Otherwise, you have to go back, learn it, then come back and do it again. Otherwise, you don't get that mark. And maybe school should be more dynamic with its year levels. So you can zip through the entirety of a curriculum in a couple of months, unless you want to do it slower. Because as far as I can see, school is 13 years of just socialising and learning a couple of things from boring textbooks along the way. I think things would have changed by now with all the projector screens and maybe videos and multimedia and computers that people are using. But yeah, I don't think it should take 13 years to learn the amount of stuff we learn in school. Most kids can sort of already recognise the letters of the alphabet probably before they begin school. And then if you can do the sound effects, you know, a, k, d, oof, g, right? Then you can understand the squiggles on a page and then put them together. And that, philanthropist. Anyway, see, I told you I don't have things to say. Anyway, this is dry hair with the lace, and I'm happy with the lace at the moment until it starts shining through. And the temperature's going to be pretty hot. It's hot in here right now. I'd say it's about 42, 43 degrees, just from feeling it. Like I don't want to spend much time in this room. It's too hot. It's like I'm in a sauna almost. Right, dry hair.